So winning the race is not a way to reach growth. The process during your journey will be where you will have more opportunities to level up your game. Sometimes we focus on the results and we think that's where the transformation happens, but to be really honest with you, the true transformation happens during the day-to-day grind, during the journey, during the process. That's where you're going to see change, and that's where you're going to have to push yourself on those day-to-day moments and during the process. One of my favorite stories I like to share is about my college coach, Sue Enquist. She helped me realize that I wasn't pushing my individual limits to get to the next level in my game. Get to UCLA, so this is what happened. So every single day we would have to run sprints. We would run sprints, and it didn't matter if they were before practice, if they were after practice, during practice. Like at some point during the day, we were going to have to run sprints. So we would be in the middle of our defense practice. You'd be like, drop your gloves, we've got to do our sprints. So it was just one of those things that we knew that we had to do. We didn't know if we were going to do 3 or if we were going to do 33. So one day we're on the line, we're running sprints, okay? So I'm fast. I'm a slapper, that's my game. I'm fast, but I'm winning all of these sprints, like kicking everybody's tail. I'm winning these sprints, but all of a sudden she stops everybody. She's like, Tosh, come here, stand right next to me. I'm like, okay. So now she's still making the whole entire team go through the whole drill. She's just like, go, jog back, go, jog back. So I have to stand next to her. So now it's like awkward. Now I kind of like want to go back and run the sprints now. Like now she's making me stand next to her. So I'm like, this is super awkward. So she's like, go, come back. So all of a sudden she like leans over. She's like, what do you notice? And I didn't say anything. I'm like, I didn't know what to say. But at first, what I really wanted to say was like, well, now Amanda's winning the races because now I'm not in the sprints. Like, I didn't say that. That would be the bratty Tasha. But I just like, I don't know. So she's like, okay, just stand here until you figure it out. Go. So the whole team is like dying. I'm like, oh my gosh, these poor girls. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening. And so she's like, I'm gonna ask you again. What do you notice, Natasha? And I was like, oh, well, it looks like they're in physical pain. It looks like they're sweating. Looks like they're trying real. She's like, exactly. You are giving me minimal viable effort. I'm like, she's yelling at me. Mind you, I was winning her races. I was winning all of the races. So she just tears me apart, and I can't mimic her very well, so I was trying to, but she's like yelling at the top of her lungs, you're giving me minimal viable effort, Natasha. You are winning my races, but you're not breaking a sweat. How are you gonna get to that next level? Like, what? You're showing up to my practices, but you're not giving me everything. And I'm like, what more? Every time we play a game, I'm going 3 for 3. I'm winning your races. What more does this lady want from me? And I think at that moment, I went home very angry that day. But I think we get to places where we get comfortable. We show up, and we think that showing up is enough. And I'm forever grateful for her. But I think when I look back at that moment, I wasn't pushing myself to that limit. When we show up here, are we pushing ourselves? Are we just going through the motions? And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, is staying on this journey of getting 1% better. So here's what I learned from this experience. Winning the race does not show growth. Effort does. And what I mean by this is, just because I was winning all of these races, I wasn't getting better. I was doing minimal effort, doing the minimal amount just to be able to say that I won the race. But at the end of it, I wasn't really pushing my growth. I wasn't getting better as an athlete. And what does is your effort and what you're putting into it. Like, you're really giving everything that you have, and that's what's going to get you to that next level. This video is powered by Art of Coaching. Art of Coaching Softball is an awesome resource for all coaches of all levels. They have a blend of a website and live coaching clinics that are dedicated to offering an inside look at the best teaching practices of successful coaches at all levels. Check out their website to become a member today. So a lot of times I've heard over and over again, a Sue-ism was what we refer to as Sue Enquist. She will always say you can always control your effort and your attitude. And it is so true. The effort literally is one of the things that you can control. Yes, it's one thing to show up every day at practice or show up in the classroom, but the effort that you are putting into anything, you control the amount of effort that goes into that. And what you put into anything, as we all know, is what we're going to get out of it. So if I am putting in maximum effort, I'm going to get maximum return out of it. So make sure that you remember that effort is one of the things that you can control. The last thing that I take away from this experience is you must empty your tank. You must empty your tank to push yourself to that next level, to push your limit. And emptying your tank goes along with effort, but it's just literally like putting everything in it, leaving everything on the field, so to speak. It's emptying your tank. Like when you finish a workout, like you literally should be physically exhausted because you have nothing left to give. And that's literally how you're going to push yourself over the threshold to get to that next level. So here are some ways that you guys can start to incorporate pushing yourself into your practices every single day. So one way is just to increase your reps daily. So if I'm hitting off of a tee and I'm hitting one day for 10 reps, as I go on each day, start to add 2 or 3 more reps to that. So the next day is going to be 12. The day after that, it's going to be 14, and work your way up into as many possible reps you can possibly or physically do. And that's going to help be a way that you can push your individual limits. A lot of times we just start to get into a rut by showing up and just doing the same amount of reps daily. Try to increase your reps daily. That's one way that you can push your limits and get yourself to that next level. Another way to push your individual limits is to stay in your lane and put your blinders up. What happens, especially as athletes, we're so competitive, and we're even competitive with our teammates. We start to look left, we start to look right, and we start to notice the things that the people around us are doing, but that's the moment that you've got to look within. You've got to look at how you are doing. You've got to assess yourself, see where you are, and see if you can push yourself, because no one's going to push you except for you. Yes, I was lucky. I had a coach who made me realize these things, but after she pointed it out, it was up to me literally to take action and put things into play and not just win the race, but make sure that I kept my blinders on and I stood the course. So comment below with where you can apply more effort in your life. I want to hear. So I'm wishing you guys the best luck to reach deep within yourself and push your individual limits. For all my slappers out there, I have a 3-part mini video series on the slapping basics. I would love for you to go and download it today. Make sure you get it from the link below. I would love for you to come over to my Facebook community where I have a group of softball parents, coaches, and players. We have a million conversations all about slap hitting, and I would love for you to join in on the conversation. So come on over, the link is below. If you like this video, please let me know by commenting, liking, and sharing this video, and make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.